one. So thanks to social media, I'm able to connect and meet with so many influential people. Marylin really stuck out to me as she's currently based in Germany. And I just thought it would be fun for us to get together and talk more about her lifestyle living in Europe. She's giving Emily in Paris vibes. So welcome, Marylin.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Thank you for your invitation. I'm very happy to have a little chat with you today, and looking forward for your questions, and to give you a little insight of our European culture.
Yeah, awesome. So what is your current job?
I'm a VIP lifestyle and news TV reporter, so very very long.
Yeah.
But basically I'm holding interviews, I'm going to red carpets, I'm doing how-to DIY TV reports, and it's a kind of a fun job actually.
Oh, that's so fun. Yeah, I saw a bit of it on social media, so I was wondering, it looks so fun. So what do you think of the influencer scene in Germany? Are there a lot of influencers? I would say in the US right now, it's definitely taken over. Many people are full-time influencers, which is really interesting. Is it like that in Germany?
I would say it's similar. I can speak for Germany that we have a lot of influencers. The last years it became more and more, because like a lot of people see the options that you can work from home and like be a full-time influencer. I read something that we have like around 4 million, but like I'm not quite sure if it's the correct number, but I think that it can be correct. And we have a lot of fashion influencers, food influencers, comedy, how-to DIY influencers. So there are a lot. And in Germany there are living a lot of people, so I guess it's becoming more and more with the years.
So with your personal goal, do you see yourself focusing more with being a TV reporter and a red carpet host, or do you have any interest in doing influencer work as well, or maybe both, or leaning towards one?
I think for me it's the best to combine both things, because when you are working in the TV, you have to be kind of a little influencer as well.
Yeah,
it goes hand in hand. So I try to combine both, like to have a bit of the private stuff and also a bit of my job. And I love traveling, and if I would be a full-time influencer, I would say I would focus on the travel and fashion thing. So and it's also kind of my job, because I'm a VIP and lifestyle reporter, and it's almost the same what I'm doing on Instagram. But I'm doing it just for fun right now.
That's so true. So what would you say is the most popular social media app in Europe? For America right now, TikTok has completely taken over. Our younger generation is just obsessed with it. Is there one in particular that's really just taking over in Europe right now?
I don't know if you have heard of Be Real.
No, actually, I think I have a couple friends in the influencer world who use it over here, but I haven't heard of it too much. What's that one?
So of course we have like Instagram and TikTok, and Snapchat is now again on its way, I would say, in Germany.
Okay.
But Be Real exploded. Like, it's an app where you have to post once a day. And the name says it, Be Real, so it's all about to be authentic. And you get a notification on your phone once a day. You never know when, so one day it could be at 11 o'clock in the morning, and the other day it could be at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Then you get the notification, and you have 2 minutes time to post a realistic photo.
That's so fun.
So you have to post with both cameras. It's the front and the back camera. Where you are right now, what you're doing, with who you are, and you can write something. Like, I actually never put a text or something, because I think the photos speak for themselves.
That's true.
But
I like
I
that.
think it's cool because actually these how could I call it? Like, there are a lot of influencers, in my opinion, that post a lot of stuff that is beautiful and that it's nice and artsy, and I like this way as well. But you know that a lot of girls, a lot of little girls, like they're 13, 14, 15,
Yeah.
they see a girl that it's like perfect, that it's beautiful, and they think, well, I'm not that beautiful, and they start thinking about operations and some,
Yeah, that's so
I don't
well
know.
said. That's definitely an
Yeah,
issue here too as
yeah,
well. I think so many young girls compare themselves to these
yeah,
perfect images online, and you feel like unless you're perfect, then you're not beautiful. When you know we're
yeah,
all beautiful,
yeah,
so like it's hard to not to compare yourself. So I like that you're showing your real authentic self,
yeah, yeah.
and that's
And
I'll have to
that's,
check that out.
yeah, you have to check it out. It's so fun because all people that use this app get the notification at the same time. So for example, I have a friend, she's living in California, and she gets it at the same time, and it's so fun to see what she's doing right now and what I'm doing at the same time. And I really like it. I don't have a lot of friends there, like let's say about 10 or 15, but it's
Yeah.
enough, and you can check out what they're doing. And yeah, it's a bit to go away from this yeah, let's say perfect pinky Instagram world. So I like it a lot. Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. It's different because I feel like Instagram has been like one of the main channels for so long, and it's just been so many years of these perfect,
Yeah.
let's be picture perfect online. So it's nice to have something new come in that maybe feels more relatable too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So were you born in Germany? Have you always lived there?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm born in Germany, but I'm half German and half Bulgarian. My mom's
Okay.
Bulgarian. So right now I'm at my cousin's. I'm having my holidays here, my Christmas holidays and New Year's holidays, like almost every year. So I'm living a mixed cultural life, and yeah, I love it because I have both, like the German side and the Bulgarian side, and they're really different. So I enjoy to have the cultures of both countries.
I can really relate to that. My dad is Sicilian, from Italy,
Oh,
and my mom's Hispanic. So I
oh,
grew
nice.
up also in two different cultures. So it really teaches you a lot.
Yeah, yeah, it's the same for me. So I pick the best from every culture, and yeah, of course, there's also some parts of being bilingual that are not always easy. Like,
Mhm.
I have a lot of friends, they are like me, like they have both cultures, and we say, well, you don't have like one home. Like, it's always, I'm half German and half Bulgarian, and I enjoy it. I really love it. But when I was younger, I had a lot of times like these issues. Well, I'm in Germany and I'm not at all German, and I'm in Bulgaria and I'm always the foreigner. Like, you're never like one whole thing. But right now I'm like really enjoying it also, that I can speak both languages and that I can understand maybe other cultures also better.
Right.
So yeah, I really like it.
Two of my closest friends are actually from Europe or born in Europe, one from Albania and one from Italy. And they
Nice.
would say sometimes that Europeans think that our lifestyle is strange. Do you hear any of that in Germany? What do they think of Americans?
I can speak for Germany and for Bulgaria because, like, I don't know what other European countries think about it, but I
Yeah.
think that we, like Bulgarians and Germans, are looking up to Americans in a lot of ways because, like, in America, I think you are faster than everybody else. You have the trends, like either if it's about social media or if it's about some startups or something. I think the Americans are like, really, they are people that are just doing something. I have met some Americans and I always was like, wow, they are so, like, so positive, and they are thinking like, I have an idea and I'm going to do it. And Germans, I think I would say, are a bit more like, I have an idea, but there's problem A, B, C, D.
They don't
What is
just
okay, because maybe these problems are realistic. But for me, Americans are like, I don't know, they're having a lot of innovations, and I like this about America. But well, like everywhere, or everybody has a different opinion. I have also heard about, well, the Americans are like, I don't know, maybe this is one thing, yeah, I've heard it a lot of times, like Americans are so nice, but Germans think that Americans are just nice to everybody, and like that it's maybe it's not so
genuine or
yeah, like it's
real.
not so
They're not
genuine.
real. Yeah.
Yeah, is it real? Do you think it's like this? Because I've always heard it, but I cannot say anything about it because I haven't had the.
Yeah, I think I think people are genuine here. I mean, like I think down south, in America, down south, they're definitely nicer. If you ever go to like the Florida, any of the southern states, people are just so outgoing, so nice. Where I live, upstate, I mean, I think it's genuine when they're traveling. Yeah. Do you have citizenship in more than one country living in Germany? How does that work? Are you able, like, if you travel to Bulgaria, can you stay there for as long as you'd like?
Yeah, like in Europe, it's actually really easy to travel around. Well, Bulgaria is not in the how is it called? In German, it's Schengen Abkommen.
Okay, okay.
Like I can travel to Bulgaria, or everybody in Europe, like the Germans, for example, can travel to Bulgaria, but they have to show their passport at the border.
Got it.
But like I can travel from Germany to Belgium or to the Netherlands or to Poland just like this without showing any passport. So I would say in Europe it's really easy to get from A to B and to travel around. And also we have a lot of cheap flights right now, not that cheap.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard.
But I have traveled from Germany to Milan, for example, for 20 euros to go and to come back by plane. So
wow.
You can travel cheap if you are not bound to like to a date. When you say, okay, I want to travel to Milan, but you can travel in May or you can travel in October, then you can find really cheap flights. Yeah, I would say it's easy.
Nice. So which cities in Europe do you think have the best food?
Okay, I think that a lot of people would say that it's like not about cities, but more about countries. It's Italy and Spain.
Okay.
And it's true because a lot of people love pasta and love pizza. But I just want to say, because I have the I have the possibility now, I think Bulgaria is really underrated. A lot of people don't know about Bulgaria, and we have a lot of beautiful cities at the coast, at the Black Sea. And for example, I could really recommend Varna. We have a lot of fish restaurants, and you can eat all these seafood stuff, and it's so good. So really, I can recommend this when somebody from America comes to Europe. Like, please also look up for the countries that you don't have in mind at first. Like I would say Albania or Croatia and Bulgaria and Romania. These are also countries worth visiting, but a lot of people think just about Italy and Spain, and of course they are beautiful and the food is good. It's everything fine, but like look at the other countries because they also have this Balkan food and it's so good. Really, I love it.
Wow, that sounds amazing. That's making me hungry.
Yeah.
So now that I know that you're half Bulgarian, I was going to ask you what are some traditional dishes in Germany, but maybe you can give both sides. What are some traditional dishes?
Yeah. In Germany, of course, it's like, I would say everything with potatoes. We love potatoes.
That sounds good.
Yeah, like a potato salad or fried potatoes, everything with potatoes. Sausages, like it's kind of a heavy food. When you eat German food, afterwards you have to lay down and sleep for 2 hours because you are full. And yeah, we have these typical, it's called Brauhaus, where you can go drink beer and have really good food. And yeah, one fun fact: when you go to a Brauhaus, you get beer without asking. So the
Wow. So it's like how you serve water, you just get beer too.
yeah, it's like this. And when you don't put something on your glass, they bring you beer one after another until you say stop. But otherwise, you're getting one beer after one beer, one beer, one beer.
That is so funny.
Yeah, it's a fun fact that you should know, maybe. Otherwise, you would be wondering why they don't stop giving you beer. Yeah, and the Bulgarians, we have a lot of food with paprika, with tomatoes, like a lot of cheese, really, a lot of different goat cheese, or how is it called? Cheese of a sheep. How is it called in English? I don't know. I just know goat cheese. Well, also a lot of meat. We eat all these grilled stuff, but also we eat a lot of in English I don't know the word now, like the liver or the heart of animal.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
is a
Wow.
really specialty, and I know that a lot of people don't like it, and I can understand. I also didn't like it when I was younger, but the Bulgarians prepare it in a way that you have to try, and maybe you will like it as well, with onions, and yeah, it's
Okay.
really good. It's
Yeah, I
really good.
haven't had anything like that. So maybe one day I'll have to try that if I make my way over to Europe.
Yeah. Yeah, you should.
Hey Bessies, it's time for an ad break. This is my favorite blush from NARS. I've worn this blush for the past 10 years and I have yet to find one that I love more, so check it out at the link below in the comments.
So what is the dating culture like in Europe? In the US right now, men and women used to get married in their early 20s. Now we're seeing that be like closer to 30. Sometimes people need more time to get into their career, save some money, all of that. What is it like in Germany? Are people still getting married younger? Are they focusing more on their careers? Are you seeing a decline in marriages or relationships?
Mm. I think in Germany it really depends on some factors, like in which city are you living, or are you living in a city or somewhere in a village. I would say that people in a village are more willing to marry early. Because I was born in a village, the village where I come from, there are living 400 people, so it's really tiny.
Wow.
Now I'm living in Berlin, so it's really
Different.
a big difference. But I see that the friends of mine that are living in a village, or my cousins, they are in relationships. They are building their houses or having an apartment, and having children like really early. And when I compare it to the city life, like right now I'm living in Berlin, before I lived in Cologne, people are not that willing to have like these long relationships.
Okay.
I have the impression that a lot of people are like, well, maybe there's something better, or well, I want to have the focus on my career at first, and the same that you talked about right now, actually,
Yeah.
like to
Same
save
thing.
some money and stuff like this. And also some people say that they don't want to have children at all. So I see that there is a change during the years. I think it's a pity that a lot of people that are also that are studying and that are really having a good lifestyle, that they don't want to have children, in my opinion, because
Aw,
I
that is
think it's nice to have a family and to have children, and yeah, but the dating game in Germany is getting more difficult, I'd say. I have some friends, they are trying the Tinder or Bumble thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's online dating everywhere. Yeah, I would say it's getting more difficult with the years now.
Oh yeah, I would definitely say it's sounds just about the same over in the US. That's exactly how it is. Yeah.
Do you
100%.
also have Bumble?
We have Bumble over here, Tinder. I
Yeah.
feel like those are more for like if you're not really looking for a super serious, relationship or
Yeah.
something. Or actually, I have had a few friends that did meet people and they're in serious relationships. So I shouldn't say that, sometimes it does work out, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's just crazy how the world is now. Like if you're a young single girl or boy, you don't really meet people when you go out over here. You meet
Mhm.
people more through like the social media apps. So I feel like that's really the only option right now. So you kind of have to weave through and
Yeah, yeah.
connect with.
Yeah, I'd say that a lot of girls in Germany are using Bumble because Tinder is, yeah, exactly the same that you are talking about. Yeah.
And
It's
Bumble
more this quick
great.
thing, like not
Yeah,
so serious. And
yeah.
Bumble is more like the girl. When the girl wants somebody, then okay, she would do the first step. And yeah,
There you go. The guy
I
will.
haven't heard of a serious relationship through Bumble though. I've heard of some serious relationships that are yeah, that had their start with Tinder. So
Wow.
maybe
You never know. That's
it's also
awesome.
possible. Yeah.
It is. It is. That is. I like that. So how many languages do you speak then?
I understand some other languages a bit, like a bit Russian because of Bulgarian, because we have the same alphabet, a little bit Italian because I had an Italian friend and we lived together like for 3 months. But yeah, I had Latin in school, so that's why maybe I would understand a bit of this Romanic languages like Spanish and Italian, but it's not that I can speak it fluently. I had French lessons in school for 2 years, but it's years ago. Yeah, I would say the languages that I really can speak fluently are English, Bulgarian, and German.
And do you remember in school when they started teaching you, do you remember how old you were? Like for us, we didn't start learning another language in school until I was about 13 or 14, which I thought was more difficult because they say when you're in your younger years, it's easy to retain and take in that information. So I wish I had started learning other languages at a younger age. Do you remember how old you were when they started teaching it in your school system?
Well, we started with English like really early. I'd say I was in the 3rd grade, so I was like 8. But we learned just some vocabularies, just some animals or some like the basics.
That's nice.
But I'm also, or I think that it's good to start early. I had
Yeah.
some friends, they started learning English in kindergarten, so they were like 4.
Wow.
Um,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
yeah, and we learned English. We started learning it properly in 5th grade, so like at age at about 10 or 11. Yeah.
Yeah. Do a lot of people speak English in Europe? Because it sounds like they're teaching it. That was a question I was going to ask, but you almost just answered that right now, saying how they taught it in the school system. So it sounds like that they're teaching it a lot in other countries and in yours as well.
Yeah. I'd say that every country in Europe has a different school system. And I can compare Germany to Bulgaria, for example. I would say that in Germany we are learning English more intense, like we have more lessons than in Bulgaria. And I would say also that in Germany really a lot of people speak English in a very good way. In Bulgaria, not that much. So I cannot say about the other countries in Europe, but like from traveling, I would say that the Eastern European countries are not that good than the Western European countries.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I've made the experience. I've been to Paris a month ago, and it's really strange because the French people don't like speaking English. I'm talking to them in English and they were like, what? And I was like, well, I think it was okay, my pronunciation. I don't think that you haven't understand me. Yeah. I think there are a bit like they like their language a lot. They like speaking French, and when I talk to them some words in French, they're like, oh wow, yeah, you can speak French. And I think it's okay, but I made the experience that they're not that good in English, actually. Yeah.
So speaking of Paris, do you watch the Netflix show Emily in Paris at all?
No, I haven't.
Okay. In the in the US, it's so popular. I think it's so popular because I think a lot of people have that dream of going to Europe and traveling all over and seeing the Eiffel Tower and being in Paris. So it's such a hit here because it's just almost like a dream world for us.
Crazy. Is it really like this?
Yeah.
For the Europeans, it's the American dream to come to America and travel and have a road trip, to go to California and Florida. Like we love it. We love the thought about renting a truck and having a road trip. Yeah.
That's so cute. That's so funny. Yeah. So what are some must-see sites if you're going to Europe for the first time? Where are a couple places that you would recommend to go?
Yeah. Are you talking about like sites or like countries at all?
I guess we can say, yeah, if there's any specific countries or things to do, just a couple that you've been to and really loved.
Yeah. Okay, I would say that like Europe is really different. The countries are really different. But I would recommend when we start in the north to definitely visit one of the Scandinavian countries. I've been to Helsinki and I love the city. It's so clean, it's so beautiful. The people are so friendly. The food is very good, but it's expensive. So the hotel is expensive, the food is expensive, it's cold. So if you like having a really cold winter, then go for it. Yeah, I've been in, I think, December, and it was really, really cold, but I loved it because it's really beautiful when it's snowing. It's really worth it. I can recommend this. Then when we go more south, definitely have a look at Paris. It's beautiful. You have to see the Eiffel Tower. You have to see it when it's blinking. It's blinking every whole hour. So you have to go like at 0.6 or 7 or 8 or 5, and then you can see it blinking for 5 minutes. So you have to be fast if you want to have a proper, beautiful picture or reel or something. Berlin is definitely worth a visit. I love it. I'm living there and I can recommend it. The food is good. The people, a lot of people say that that we are a bit cold, or we're having a bit of a sarcastic way, a sarcastic humor. Maybe it's true, but deep in our hearts, we are very friendly, so it's definitely worth a visit. Then I can recommend Barcelona. I've been there as well a month and a half ago. The food is so good, and you have the beautiful sea. The people are also really, really nice, and the fashion. Oh my God, I love it. I love
I bet
fashion. Yeah, it's really, really nice. And if you have a look at the Eastern European countries, I can recommend Bulgaria, of course. Have a look at the sea. You can go have a ski. If you want to go in winter, we have really beautiful mountains. So definitely worth it. Also, Greece, if you want to go have a summer holiday, they have so many beautiful islands, and every island is different. So yeah, definitely worth a travel.
So that was great. I'll definitely make note of all those places. It sounds so beautiful. Okay, and so lastly, do you have any advice for Americans traveling to Europe?
In every country, you have to be like you have to take care of your personal stuff. I think it's normal. I think that the cities where you have a lot of tourists, like I had the impression that, for example, Rome is a city where you have to really take care of your stuff, because
that's what I've heard.
there's so many tourists, and of course you have to take care of your personal
No matter where you
belongings.
go. Yeah.
Yeah. Also in Paris, like I try to not have a bag on my a backpack, but to have a small bag in front of me so that I can take care of it and to have all my stuff. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's like really a
That big
serious
of a deal. That big
thing.
of a deal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that a big that kind of a big deal. I would say that you have to inform yourself a bit before, because I I always I always have the impression that when Americans, for example, come to Europe, they think, oh, Europe is one country. But we have so many different
Mhm.
countries, and like every country
Mhm.
is so different. You cannot compare it. You are in Germany. That's actually a good example. You are in Germany, and next to Germany, there's Poland. And Poland and Germany are such different countries. Like the language is totally different, the food, the culture, the cities. So I would recommend that when you go to a country in Europe, inform yourself and try to read a bit about it. Like, not that you prepare yourself with months, but like to have a bit of an idea what the country is about and what is special about the country, about the language, about the food. But otherwise, I just say enjoy the people, because I would say that in Europe we have so many different cultures, and personally for myself, I enjoy it. That when I go to, let's say, Italy, Greece, or Spain, that in every country the people are so different, and that you can learn from them. The hospitality is different, or the way they speak to you. So just lay back, enjoy, have good food, have good drinks, and yeah, don't stress, but yeah, enjoy it.
That was so well said. That was so well said. And I'm glad that you said that and brought that up about how there's so much diversity in Europe, and to really just take it all in.
Yeah, I've been to Belgium, for example, now during the holidays, and I liked it because it's close to Germany, but it's also such another culture. Like it's a mix of Germans, British people, and French, I'd say. Like it's a mix of all, and I love that they are speaking a lot of languages. They learn English, German, French, and how is it in English? Flemish? I don't know if it's
Oh, I think that's in England.
because it's not called Belgian, but it's in Germany it's Flämisch. We say Flämisch. Yeah. And I loved it that they learn so many languages in school, because every language is so good to know.
It is. It really is. It's such a tool to be able to speak more than one language.
Yeah. Yeah.
It truly is.
Can you speak Italian and Spanish?
So I know a little bit of Spanish. That's a language that I took in school growing up. So I don't know too much. I always wish that I had taken on in learned more of a language. That's still on my bucket list. That's still something that I'm trying to do. So I'll definitely have to take some classes or something. I think, yeah, as I said, I think it's just such a great tool. So
Yeah,
just
definitely. After our interview, you are going to start
yeah,
Spanish lessons.
although they do also say the best way to learn a language is to go to the country and
Yeah.
just throw yourself in, right? Just throw yourself there and start
Yeah.
picking it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also had the experience that when I went to Madrid, it's 1 or 2 years ago, I learned a bit Spanish before, like for 1 month or something. I learned it by Duolingo. I don't know if you know the app.
Yes, I've heard Duolingo.
Yeah, it's very good. And I just tried like just for fun. And it was so good because we were in a hotel. It was a little hotel, and the lady at the reception couldn't speak a word English because she was an older lady, and it was so good that I knew a bit of Spanish.
That's so
And
helpful. And they appreciate it. I'm sure the people
yeah,
that
yeah.
appreciate it when someone
Yeah.
comes in and makes the effort to speak their
Yeah.
language.
Yeah,
A lot. Yeah.
they're really thankful when you can speak a bit of their language. Yeah.
Pretty awesome. So that is it for my questions. Thank you so much for coming on. I really enjoyed speaking with you, and I'm glad that we talked about all the things we did. I think we talked about a lot of myths or misconceptions that Americans may have. So I'm really glad that we were able to talk about those things and just have a chat.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate your invitation. I had a lot of fun. And yeah, also nice to meet you finally.
Right?
Yeah.
I guess it's a positive of social media, right? Because we're able to all
Yeah.
connect and meet new people all through this app. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's so crazy because I told my family, I'm going to have an interview. Oh, nice. With who? Well, with a with a girl from America. And they were like, how? How did that come? Yeah, and I love it. Like, it's so cool that we can connect. And where are you now? Right now, where are you living?
I'm in Connecticut.
Ah, nice. Yeah, well, I would say like, I don't know, 11, 12 flight hours from here, maybe.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in Connecticut. Where I'm from, it's definitely, I live in the country, the suburban. So it's pretty quiet. I live close to New York City, about an hour and a half. So I do go to the city often when I want some, when you want to have fun or go out and do something. And then Fashion Week, of course, is there.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. There's kind of balance. You kind of get like both worlds.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you did too, right? Because you live in Berlin, but there's probably, it's similar how there's other villages and more country-like towns around that.
I have this kind of life because my mom's living in the village still where I grew up. And it's like 6 or 7 hours from Berlin. And I'm living in Berlin, but of course I'm having a trip to my village every 2 or 3 months. And then I'm in a small little village where everything's okay, and you have this picture perfect world. And then you go back to Berlin, it's like, blah, 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 and everybody are people, and it's really, really different kind of lifestyle. But I like both. I enjoy both.
It's good to see both. It's good to have a balance, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. That's awesome.
Nice. So nice to meet you.
Yeah, so nice to meet you. I'm sure that we will stay connected, and thank you again.
Thanks for watching. It's time for one last ad. This is my current favorite phone case. You can click the link below and check it out on Amazon.